And so it was just like recording in session, and it was just like so loud. Everywhere else. And because I had to do interviews for my assistant coaching position the other day at home. So I just didn't have like my mic set up. So I had to change everything.
I got you. I'm on a working vacation. So
let's go.
I'm out on Tybee Island right now, kind of working. I got to go pick up the kids and stuff because we just got a suite out here, beachside suite. So that's why I'm not in my usual location and why probably my audio is a little bit more echoey than it probably usually is. But
nah, it's good. It's fine. Ooh, man, I'm going to say this right now. Going into this, I had one thought about what was going to happen or anything like that. And I found myself really pleased with the way everything shook out.
Me too. I thought there was a lot of great moments. I thought there was a couple of misses, but we got champions, Adam and Steve, which I think I was more rooting for Shane and Davon. I like Davon a lot, and I sometimes like Shane's kind of a bitch, but he's been doing this for a long time. But when it comes to a deserving champ, Adam and Steve, it feels right. I do not feel bad about them winning at all.
No, it feels really good with them winning, especially because like we literally just had this like play out. I think it was the first part of the final, where Steve is just talking about his redemption, like going out against Tech early in All-Stars 2 and then messing up in All-Stars 4 with the Stars, where he probably could have maybe won.
Steve has a great story. He has a great story. Great story. Adam too, even though I thought Adam was kind of salty about the whole thing. I thought it was a really cool moment where he said, like, oh, if I win this money, I'm going to use it to propose to Avery. So if you're watching this, I'm on one knee. Will you marry me? And apparently that's exactly what he did. And she said yes.
It happened. She said yes. Yep.
And also, I just got to say, Adam, great job, bro. You are punching up. Avery is a fucking knockout. And how a schlub like you got that? Can't knock it. Good for you, man.
He'd probably agree with you, but
hey, but that's a trick to being happy. Find a girl who's too good for you and put a ring on it. So congrats to them both. I really enjoyed day one. I really enjoyed day two, even though the ending really pissed me off, and I didn't like the trivia that much. Actually, we could go ahead and bring this episode in. We're just so excited.
Let's bring the episode in.
What's really good, Pastoras? I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler Lauder. This is Love, War, Challenges. What's good? Starting off, checkpoint 5, which is the first checkpoint for day 2. Fucking trivia. 1, love the name. I used to live in a place called Davis that had a restaurant called Fucking. And, everybody who eats pho got the joke. Everybody who does it just like Faux King. And it's like, it doesn't work like that, bro.
As soon as they started talking about the like eating thing and they were about to like, and everybody started kind of throwing up, immediately I went, oh man, Malik's probably so mad right now that he has to watch this.
I was.
But I will say the way they did it was good, where the fact that like not everybody ate the same thing. It's based on your knowledge. You could sabotage somebody else. And we actually see that being the main reason, to be honest, that sabotage that Shane and Davon did ended up biting them big time. And everybody started pouring in theirs, where if they don't do that, it's not as gross. Maybe they finish in second place. Maybe they win. And now that final teeter-totter thing doesn't actually matter because they're too far ahead in points.
It could possibly have changed the whole game. Only makes me hate it that much more.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to give a big shout out to natural lighting. I'm just in front of a window and the lighting is just fantastic.
No, it does. It does look good.
Yeah, did not like this one. One, I didn't like the trivia on it because it wasn't really trivia. It was like asking your partner questions and match up. Seen it before. I don't hate that part.
It was the, what is it? What's that? What was a TV show called back in the day? They used to call it, it's like The Honeymooner or something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And we've seen the challenge do this before. I didn't love that part, but I didn't super hate. I was kind of neutral in that part. Me, I hate eating challenges so much, and it's so gross, and everybody's puking. And now, for some reason, I don't know what it is. I got older, and now my stomach isn't as strong as it used to be. When I see other people puke it starts making me sick. We don't need it. It's not an integral part. It's unneeded. It's what are we testing here? Your willpower of eating, cow testicles? Fuck out of here. We don't
But
need
here's the problem. Here's the problem. Not everybody even eats it. I believe that if you put stuff in your mouth and then you throw it up, you should have like a 60-second penalty right there, or put everything down for 60 seconds. You can't continue, because otherwise all we're seeing is people going, oh no, I can't do that. And now all that's gone.
Yeah.
We had controversy with Tori on double agents, or not double agents, on Ride or Dies. We have this issue here where we saw it a bunch. We've seen it almost every eating challenge, where it's like, just needed. Put it in there and get it out right away. You're fine.
Yeah. So MTV gets their puke shots that they need for some reason. I don't know why. At the end of this elimination, Shane and Davon are in the lead. Steve and Adam is number 2. Frank and Sam and Nicole and Melissa are tied for 3, which is, I'm really trying to figure out why Nicole and Melissa are doing so bad.
Here's the thing, and don't mind that weird cut we just had. Nicole and Melissa are not that great of challengers. Like they're adequate. They're good at things, but like they don't have that, like, take it to the next level, overcome something you're really bad at, be able to just figure something out that you never could have done before. They don't have that. And every other team has at least one person that can do that. I mean, if you've seen Shane in eating challenges before, He hates it. I've seen him. He hates it, but he's like, let's just get it over with. Like, I remember Invasion of the Champions. He made everybody else look like children. And he's like, I put down 2 of them. Let's go. Let's get, like, I don't care if it's bad. Just finish it. And that like extra kick is something, they have, like Frank has, that we've seen, obviously. And I believe Steve has that sometimes too, and Adam too. Yeah. But Melissa and Nicole, they don't have that. It's like,
you would think Nicole will be the one to have that. Or Melissa, who has made a final before. And it's not that they don't have it, but we just haven't seen it this season.
They came in as in this final as the best the best in shape, I thought. Like at every level, they should have been able to succeed in this final.
Exactly.
And they completely tanked it. It was like watching Fessy and Double Agents. It's like dude,
why aren't you killing all of this right now?
Like you should, like you should dominate every level of this. And it's like, you can't eat. It's a lot of money. You can eat.
Yeah, figure it out. I feel you. I was actually a little bit disappointed. I was expecting them to show it a little bit more. I thought the final was actually their best opportunity to steal something here. I didn't have them pegged to win, but like, they could steal second place and they really put the pedal to the metal. But kind of disappointing with seeing the way it goes. When we get to checkpoint 6, it's called High Tide. Classic challenge. Run down this dune, get in a boat and paddle. The great thing about this one, not only was it fun to watch, not only is this very traditional when it comes to the challenge and everything, it was tight. It was close. And they did a great job at building tension when it came to it. And it came right down to Shane and Davon and Adam and Steve. I thought it was great to watch. I'm sorry, Frank and Sam.
Yeah.
And Adam C.
What's crazy about this whole final is, like, we have 8 checkpoints, right? And in those 8 checkpoints, Frank and Sam actually get second place 3 times and a first place finish, but they just had 4th place or did not finish on the other 4. And that's what killed them. But yes, slow and steady. And they won it here. It was a big surprise.
Huge surprise. Checkpoint 7, shoulder load. Basically, you got to run down. You got these shoulder scale. Oh, God. Look at that. All right. You got to put these shoulder things on. The scales carry water. Absolute great. Once again, for the challenge, very traditional, very great, fun to watch. Came down really, really tight. The way Davon and Shane are just picking it up and going. I love to see this coming out of the 2, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people did not have these people pegged to really win the whole thing, even though I did have them more towards the top of the teams that we have. But it's really fun just watching them figure it out and keep it going.
When they made this checkpoint, their idea at first was that both partners would be holding a side of the pole and carrying it, is what I think they might have thought, because with the rules being both people have to touch it, right then and there, I was like, Frank and Sam aren't going to win this one. Like, as soon as they said both people have to do it, like, at that point, I'm like, why don't you just like have a meet me halfway and then you take the rest type? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it was it was a something that Frank and Sam just couldn't win at. And same thing, it was like the first checkpoint too. But Shane and Devon, I mean, that's what I'm talking about right there. Like Shane has that extra gear to like just, okay, we have to hurry right now. I don't care if we're tired, we got to get it done, and then does it, and then they win.
Also kept his cool, because we've seen him blow up on Devon a lot of times, and unnecessarily and unfairly. And it looked like he was keeping his cool this time around. And
yeah. And right after this, we actually do see the emotional breakdown of like Frank snaps finally. Well, not even. It was so minor. If I had a teammate yell at me the way Frank just yelled at Sam, I would have been like,
it could have been a lot worse. And I gotta shoot Frank some bail on it, because he's kept it together for most of this season.
Yeah.
And now when it's all on the line, I think it's understandable. And the fact that he was apologetic and took ownership about it afterwards, I think really helped. He was just like, I shouldn't have snapped. It's not right. But it led to it was tough seeing Sam struggle. But I want to talk to you about a moment during there. Afterwards, Frank's kind of flipping out, and you see Adam, you see Steve trying to calm everybody, trying to calm him down. Frank comes back, he's a little bit more calmed down. He's like, nobody should be talked to that way, yada, yada, yada. But he was just like, basically like, I hope this serves as a wake-up call about you taking charge about some things in your life.
And I've actually heard that after the season, like once they were doing all this like press and like these lives and everything, Sam's down like like 3 or 4 inches, a couple inches. I'm not really sure how many, but she's down a couple inches already, losing weight and everything, getting in better shape.
That's good. And yeah, definitely great, especially taking control, especially being healthier. We all want to live a little bit longer than we're supposed to. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how to take it at that moment, because did you feel like it was sincere, or did you feel like it could have been a little bit of a dig?
So it's two different ways, because okay. Well, Frank speaking to Sam, I think was 100%. Like when they were in the vehicle, I think it was super sincere. I think we completely missed like him and her like having like a full apology and everything, because we go from like the anger to the confessionals, and then we're in the back of the truck and they're both kind of crying, and they're both like, and he's like, you have to. And it seemed so sincere. Like, I'm there for you. I will help you out. It wasn't just, you need to take care of yourself. It was, I'm going to be there for you.
I'm so glad you said that, because I'm watching it. I'm just like, am I jaded? Like, am I just so jaded that I can't accept? Like, because like on the surface, it's, I can see that he's frustrated, and he's like, yo, I'm going to help you with this. And, it's a wake up call, and I'll be there for you. I'm like, wow, that seems really, really sweet if you trust it. But I'm actually kind of glad that was just me being kind of jaded. And while we're on that, speaking of sincere, I did buy, Steve trying to calm down Frank, and Devon checking on Sam. I think little things like that speaks to their integrity and their character of people. And let me tell you something. These are the little parts of the challenge that us challenge fans watch that we love and we crave for, these real authentic moments. This is why me falling in love with the challenge came from my love of the real world and these real moments, which is why don't get me wrong, I love the people that we got from there, but I wasn't really super big on, the skeletons and the bad blood. These themes seemed a little bit more manufactured, while on the real world, it was kind of, this whole thing was these organic interactions and confrontations. And I felt we got some of that here, and I was really thankful. And little stuff like that can make the whole series for me. So big shout out to them both.
I agree. And the big thing here too that we need to talk about is like the humanitarian side of it. Of the first initial reaction when this like happened to like Shane and Devon, everybody jumped and was like, Devon, are you okay? Like, Shane, you need to chill. And I think they kind of learned from that a little bit of like, we need to support Shane a little bit. I'm not saying what Shane did was right or anything, but like they understood the frustrations with Frank. And that's why we see Steve just hug me, man. Hey, stop talking. Just hug me. It's okay. I get it. And then you see Devon going, are you okay, to Sam? And it's nice that like, when you're on a final with somebody, I think I've heard this a lot from finalists. I mean, you're stuck with these people for over 24 hours straight. Now they're probably at like 36 hours, just them together the whole time. This isn't a run and you're only with your teammate. You're together the whole time. So that like nurturing side of everybody just comes out.
I think it has a lot to do with people who are experienced with reality TV and people who are just grown. These people are 30 plus, man.
Right.
They're grown people. And as a society, I love the fact that we've grown in some ways. We're more compassionate and understanding.
100%. That's what I was going to say, is that it shines when it needs to. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, negativity spreads because it's popular and it's catchy and everything. I mean, I work in news. That's literally, those taglines will get the most views and clicks, but humanity takes over when it's supposed to. It just naturally occurs in all living beings. Even people that are, on the dark side, they have those moments of clarity still.
Got you. Now here goes. I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. I just felt that it could have been better. We get to the last checkpoint, balance them all. You're in a teeter-totter, a seesaw. There's several bags. Both contestants have to get on it and balance it out. And this chooses, this is going to be the last checkpoint of the final. What are we doing here? The last checkpoint has to be a run. It has to be a run or a climb. It has to be.
I think this should have been a part one of the last checkpoint. Like, hey, once you balance this, what's going to happen is there's a puzzle behind you memory. About half a mile away is the key. Run to the key, come back, solve it. So you see teams go back and forth. Like, that would have been better, of like, whoever gets this, this teeter-totter done gets to do the next part. And so, yeah.
What season it's and they did this so great. 2 seasons I think of when it came great to this last moment for the finals. Free agents climbing that mountain, and we've seen the mountain climb several times, which would be great. And I understand you may not want to do that because we've seen it so much. You want to evolve, but this is All-Stars. All-Stars is a perfect time to bring some of this stuff back. The mountain climb, specifically, the ones we see in Rivals, the one we saw in Free Agents. Great way to end it. And Dirty 30, that last run. Hey, 2 miles down this beach. Let's go. These are great ways to cap it off. The teeter-totter, it just didn't have that. I felt like that was a miss. I didn't hate it. This could have easily been any checkpoint at any point during this thing. Got to have that last race. To have them all run it out at the end. It doesn't have to mean much. It doesn't mean whoever gets there first, but we know that we're still going off of stars, but let them run it out.
To be honest, like, if this happened and then they got in those paddle boats and then paddled right afterwards, that would have been a better finish, because then you can show each team, highlight their stuff. They're working together. Visually, it works better too, but it also feels like a race. I will say that is the one downfall, because we've had it on every All-Stars has had it pretty much that we've seen get to this point as your final destination, except for this one. Even 4 had it, and 4 was really janky up until the final 4. So
100%. Outside of that, though, fantastic final. Fantastic final for Rivals too, because I don't feel cheated. I don't feel like this is so much easier than I felt like this was good. Great fucking job. I don't understand what people are bitching and moaning about.
It's a better final than Gauntlet 2. You're
just picking on them, man.
I'm just saying, and we're talking about like an OG season, like it's better than that. It's a better final than Invasion of the Champions was really, or not Invasion, Battle for a New Champion, whatever 39
Battle
was
for
very like, they still had a run at the end, but it was still very janky.
I thought this was a very, very fine final. When we get down to it, 4th place, Melissa Nicole, which I believe is super disappointing. They could have came in any place except for 1st. They were never going to win this. I know I don't mean to shit on the only girl team, but Frank and Sam at 10K. Hey, I know Frank is kind of disappointed because he thought he could win, but we all knew that he couldn't. This is exactly where you were supposed to be. There might have been a 2nd place, but come on, he 3rd place was always his.
No. If we're being honest, though, Frank wasn't even supposed to be in this final. As soon as he was partnered up with Sam, everybody went, "Oh man, Frank's gonna have a short return back to the challenge. He's not gonna make a final."
Very early into the season, by the way he was running things, and he ran this whole entire game. 10th place was always his. Once his final, 3rd place was always his. 10. He was never going to end up in the top 2.
I'm gonna say right now, the only way he would have is if like they would have gotten those other, like if like Beth and Janae and Veronica and Katie were here instead of the top 2 finishing teams, Frank and Sam win the whole thing.
Yes.
If they would have gotten people that they could have
He almost
beaten
pulled
there.
it off. Pulled it off.
And here's a real crazy thing too, is that I believe, and this is like, because I've always like thought about this rankings of like, let's like a top 10 best seasons that didn't result in a win. I always have came back to the thought of like Wes on Fresh Meat 2, where he had this dominant gameplay, gets Darrell out first, starts cutting all of Kenny's alliance out. Problem is, he imploded halfway through because he had too much power, was too successful, but he couldn't win a daily because he was partnered with Mandy. No offense, Mandy. Anyways, and I always thought like that's like the best game anybody's ever played and not won. Also some of the worst. But now I look at this Frank's game. Frank's game might be one of the best non-winning seasons I've seen.
I would agree.
Even though it is All-Stars and we're talking about what it is, like it's a reality. And so far, Frank has done 4 seasons and he has never been eliminated by a single person in a season. He was taken out by, he
got sick.
He won his first season. He got second place his second season. He eliminated 2 people and then got sent home sick. And now he comes back and gets a 3rd place.
Not bad, Frank.
Same with Sam, I guess. Sam's never been eliminated either.
Yeah. But I really hope this isn't the end of Frank. We can use some Frank.
And we could really use some Frank.
I think All-Stars is perfect for him. But, also I do know he has a very engaged life and stuff. I don't remember, but I think I heard him say like, I took off work.
No, I mean, he has a doctorate in physical therapy. And so, yeah, I mean, here's the hope. If we want Frank back, we need the challenge. We need Byron Murray to listen to Wes and kind of like, let's do an accelerated season, like 2 to 3 weeks, get it all done, bring 20 people out. Like you could do it. Survivor does it in like 23. So
listen, I love it. What is there to lose? Yes. Shane and Davon at number 2. Great season. You played it pretty well. You played the middle, which is for you guys was perfect. They didn't make too many waves. Shane started falling apart a little bit towards the end,
right?
But he held on enough to make it through. They won the elimination. You got some bread. You guys should. I love the way Davon felt afterwards. God, man, she made second place feel like a win, and it makes it easy, really, to root for her too. I like the fact that she didn't totally bomb Shane on the way out. She said, "Me and this Shane would not be friends after leaving this house, but the Shane that has grown up and has become more mature, that's the Shane I want to be friends with." Basically saying we're still not friends, but man, you just put such a beautiful bow on it and left the door open. Just talk about maturity. And I really, I never disliked Davon. I did get into it with her fans a little bit. But
yeah, she's pretty diehard fans, yeah.
But also, man, Davon herself, just so fucking lovable and likable.
Yeah.
Shane and Davon should not look at this as a loss. They should feel like this is a win. They did great. They leave with some money. And a pretty nice notch on their belts for their challenge careers, because they both did really, really well, and they both haven't seen this kind of success in a long time. This is the best Davon has ever done. And for sure, this is the best either one has ever done. And this is great for them.
I'm pretty sure Shane's never made a final before.
Nope.
So
I was thinking about that. I was like, he's never even made the final.
And so, to be honest, though, I mean, man, if Era 1 wasn't so stacked, Shane would have been a perfect fit on Battle of the Seasons, or Battle of the Eras. Like, he'd have been so great on that as a pairing. And then Davon talks about like this is her final one. She's retiring from reality TV, and I mean, I get it. Her, she's got a middle school aged kid pretty much, so you want to be more focused on that. Totally get it. Yeah, I mean, overall, pretty good. I mean, I've always said that they were, in my opinion, when I mapped out the season, which is something I want to do going forward and actually showcase this, but I always map out a season of kind of like, how do I think things are kind of work out? And it's super nerdy. It's paper. It's, but
one of the reasons I love you, man.
I thought Shane and Davon were the perfect team to get eliminated the last elimination before the final. Like, that's exactly when I thought they were going to go home.
They tried. It got close.
Yeah. And it just felt like a team of like, they're going to play a great game. They're going to get all the way through, great social. and then something's going to bite them in the butt at the end, and they're not going to make a final, because that's how Shane's game is, you know?
Right. Eventually. But it didn't go that way. They did great. I mean, all reality, a couple of different steps, a couple of these checkpoints go a different way. They're in the bag.
Maybe if Nani and Turbo take out Adam and Steve, maybe they win the whole thing.
Now we're talking about a whole different game. Yeah.
Right.
But number one, getting to split $250K is Steve and Adam.
Mm-hmm. One of the most impressive winning seasons we've seen from a team that had minimal political bearing. Really, it was just Katie, Veronica, Sam and Frank say they got us. Other teams say they got us, but they really don't, you know. 5 elimination wins, 3 daily wins. They win the whole thing. The only team to get a star on the first episode and keep it the entire way.
Yes, a very overlooked point. And I'm going to ask you, because you'll be able to rattle this off the top of your head so much easier. I think this is one of the best non-dominant wins in the challenge history. Yeah. Because it's not like they was beasting and bullying all this season. They had their back to the ropes this whole entire game. And they fought themselves out of the hole kind of at the right time, where they were kind of able to coast mostly for the rest of the way. But man, they had to get it out the mud. This was not an easy win. From what I can think of, just somebody who has been beat up the whole time and to come out with a win. This is one of the most non-dominant wins I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about teams or people that fall in this category, you'd fall into like team that always has a back against the wall. They have to somehow overcome. We're talking the rookies on Gauntlet 3 somehow winning because Big Easy goes down. That team
Cara Maria's whole career.
Cara Maria's whole career. I mean, let's talk about Cara Maria winning vendettas or Final Reckoning vendettas. Winning vendettas, like really kind of at a target honor where all the girls didn't really want her there. We've seen this also happen with Duel 2, maybe Landon can kind of say, but I think there was more of an underperforming team that ended up winning in the end because really nobody hated them. And then we talk about, but most of the time this story has been told a lot. It's Derek K. It's why everybody loves Derek.
Yeah.
We talk about Gauntlet 2, right? Like one of the worst finals ever. Well, Derek K, like that's why we love him. His going into tons of eliminations. He's going to win the whole thing. All of them.
A lot of those eliminations, come on. And I love Derek.
Still to this day. Shouldn't have won most of those.
They have him pegged to win. But the fact that he came out on top and in the fashion that he did, when it comes to that competitive, just throw me in spirit, Derek K is right up there with, say, a Jordan when it comes to that spirit that we love in the challenge.
And it's just Adam and Steve somehow were able to win their eliminations, still make it to a final and win the whole thing. Like, realistically, you go into that many eliminations, you're supposed to lose eventually. That's the whole point.
It's so hard to get the 5 elimination wins because usually by 3, you're done. Surviving. Just from the overall, it's like UFC. Once you get knocked out in the UFC, it's going to be easier to get knocked out again in the future. Same thing here. Once you start going into elimination, it's hard to keep winning all of those. And not to mention the overall fatigue that builds from being in those and the stress and the fact that once you go in once, it's so much easier to put you in afterwards.
And talk about how we see during this final and everything of like, wow, why is this team not performing well? Why are they not performing well? Wait, okay, they're still not performing well. Oh, wait, hold again. Now they're winning. Now they're winning. Now they're winning. Whoa. Like, and they rattled off in that final 4. I think they went first, second, first, like in that final 4.
Yeah. And that got
completely dominant. Yeah. Completely dominant on day 2. Because I think they ended up They ended up with 24 points. And what would that be? That'd be 8 plus 6, 14. 14 of their 24 points came on day 2.
Don't sit up here and ask me to do free math.
No. I did it. I got it. But yeah. So like 60% of their points came from day 2.
And one of the best things about the story is you don't feel cheated. And that's a great feeling because sometimes we get a champion which is like, doesn't feel great or it doesn't feel, or sometimes, and a lot of times that happens just because your favorite didn't win. Right. So I'm aware of that bias. But this one, it felt right. It felt good and it felt like they had it coming. And of course, for some reason, they bring in this fucking money split, which I hate. It's so unnecessary.
It's rivals, though. So, I mean,
I get why they brought it in. I'm glad the way it played out. TJ takes it to the side. and just says, hey, if both of y'all, if y'all answers mismatch, there's going to be a 1-game playoff to see who gets to keep all the money.
I do like that though, because it's not just you can just steal it. It's like, okay, fine, put your money where your mouth is.
I do think that's an improvement.
I wanted to see what it was going to be.
I would love to see what it was going to be.
Like a pole wrestle for $250,000. Like,
now listen, we haven't had contact all season, and this is the time to bring in a little contact because people are going to need to fight. But then it'll be really fair to the people who's undersized or short or yada, yada, yada. There's no way to get 100% people on board with that. But the fact that they both chose, even with the history they have, to split the money, fucking awesome. Great. And it was the right
parents,
thing to do.
Man. They're parents. That's why. Yeah. There's no way I could steal the money from anybody. Like even if I know somebody's like a terrible human being and they were my partner, but they were like the whole time talking, it's like, yeah, I got like a 8-year-old kid. That's my world. I'd be like, okay, you're a bad person, but they're not a bad person. Right. And that's what would hit me.
For me to keep the money, I would need just a severe level of hate. I'm talking about the hate that drives a premeditated murder kind of hate. I don't see myself personally, you know what, I say that now, but I'm pretty sure if somebody says, we have $375,000 to split, are you going to take it or keep it? I would like to think that I would do the right thing. I don't see myself not doing that because nobody's asked me to split 375 bands, so.
Or $1 million, but I couldn't do that either because honestly, you could hand me $500K and you can go, that's $1 million. And I'd go, it looks like it. Yeah. Like, I don't know what that looks like.
You know what the funny thing is? I think $1 million is even easier because if it's $1 million, it's way easier to live with 500K over, 175 or whatever it was. I don't know. I hope I would do the right thing if my number got ever punched, because if I'm ever on the wrong side of that, and I think that's where it comes. If you was on the other side of this, what would you want the other person to say? You want them to say they split it, right? So do the same for them.
I don't think anybody out of these 8 would have stole. Like, I know like there's a lot of talk about Shane and everything. Like there's no way Frank would have stole from Sam knowing what she was going to use the money for. No way Nicole would steal from Melissa. Melissa actually might steal from Nicole though. Maybe. That might have been the only one we could have gotten, but who knows? They brought it back. It didn't work. And you know what's good about that? Because if one of them would have stolen, I would have thought that it was like played out. Like every time there's a steal, somebody steals every time. Like,
I'm just glad everybody got money. Everybody completed. This was a great season. This was a great final. Man, us challenge fans got to be happy at something.
Right. We got the return of Shane, Davon, Frank. We got a redemption story of Steve,
which was great.
We got to see Turbo back more stable. Like when Turbo came back for Ride or Dies, people were excited. They can't say they weren't, but it kind of really got tarnished early. We got to see teams that we thought were going to dominate, Leroy and Devin, go out early.
Dario
backstabbing, like
doing what he does best. This was a great season. I enjoyed so much of it, and I really hope we do get a 6. I had to try to bring Cora on. It was great to see her interactions nowadays being more grown and being more successful and coming back to this craziness that we call the challenge. Very excited. Haven't been spoiled for 41 yet. I have heard some rumors about some of the stuff that's going down, but I don't know who wins. I would like to keep it that way.
Yeah, it's crazy because I feel like I don't know if I was spoiled or if I saw something about whatever. I've seen a lot of people talk about a certain cast member that's like a rookie, and I just like want to mute all those words and everything. I don't know who wins or does anything. I don't really know how the format plays out. I'm really excited for that. This is kind of nice so that we have a break. Like we do have a break. Kind of nice. And I do think one thing that I would love what they would start doing is if they want to keep all-stars more prevalent, like more OGs, sure, whatever. It needs to be in between seasons. That way it fills that gap that like Real World used to, remember?
Yeah.
It used to be the reunion of a challenge to be like, let's check out these next 8 crazy people that are going to be joining your family.
Yep.
And then vice versa. It's like, oh, hey, reunion of the Real World. Look at the next season of the challenge. Any of you guys going to be on there? It's like, I don't know, maybe like.
Yes. And us challenge fans, we got to start getting used to the fact that some of our OGs are going to go bye-bye for good.
Yeah.
Come on. But they're doing a great job of bringing in new people.
But A pair of OGs won.
They sure as hell did.
Steve joins the champion list. We get a new champion, and Adam joins now. He moves up the list. He's a 2-time winner. He jumps up the list and passes a lot of people, men and women, that have only won one. You're still muted.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that. This was such a great season. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you follow us on all socials at LWC Podcast. Follow me at Malik_MTV. Follow Tyler Louder at Lord Louder. Once again, I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler Louder. This is Love, War, Challenges. See you guys next season.
Bye.